Hey, Frank, after that 36 points had in game one, really made it difficult on them to score. What's been the key defensively for the squad?
Well, we're playing scrappy. You know, we're competing at a very high level. The care factor on the defensive side of the ball is where it should be for playoffs, to win in the playoffs. And we have tremendous respect for the offensive firepower of the basketball team that we're playing. So, just been pleased with our team's effort and commitment on the defensive end in both of the first two games.
Frank, what was the biggest difference for Anthony Davis from game one to game two?
You know, he just was aggressive, and he was making perimeter shots. You know, I thought he got plenty of good looks in the first game. Just had a tough shooting night. You know, that stuff happens from time to time. But he certainly was aggressive, and as you play a team in the playoffs, each game that goes by, you get a little bit further, better understanding of how you want to attack them. Their defense. So there's some things we did slightly differently to get him involved, but for the most part, he just stayed aggressive, trusted his perimeter shot, and had a big night for us.
Hey Frank, it's Dave. You have that saying, paint to great. You've mentioned to us a few times. Obviously, your paint scoring was working tonight, and also you shot the ball much better from the outside. How much is that part of the identity of this team, and what allowed you to get back to that?
Yeah, well, we have arguably the greatest drive and kick player in the history of the game in LeBron James, and this is a drive and kick league. So for our whole group, we encourage touching the paint and looking for weak-sided shooters. I do have to credit Brett Brown in my sabbatical year when I visited the 76ers. That's his phrase, paint to great. We took that from him. But when we play that way, we typically generate high-quality threes. We did it in the first game. We didn't knock them down. We knocked them down at a higher clip tonight, but we still have plenty of looks that we didn't knock down, and I still think our potential for what we can do, the damage we can do with that concept, hasn't reached where it's going to be, hopefully in the playoffs.
Alan? Kyle Goon?
Frank, obviously you pulled a lot of your starters in the fourth quarter, but to you in that third quarter, what was the moment, or was there a moment where you're like, okay, this is it, we got this?
I never feel like we got this, but obviously if you get up 30, you feel good about your team, and but we know this team's got tremendous firepower. So obviously when Dame went out, that changed the game a little bit, and then they pulled their guys in the fourth. But this is going to be a very difficult series, and like I said, we have the utmost respect for the firepower they have offensively.
Tanya?
KCP had such a rough shooting night on Tuesday, and then was gem shooting, and today to hit those back-to-back threes early in the period in the first quarter. How important was that for you?
Yeah, I'm really happy for KCP. I told him after game one that we started the season this way. We had a couple tough nights, a little bit of a shooting slump, and all he did is go and shoot 40% for the next 4 months, by remaining confident, remaining true to his work. And, both games he played extremely well. Game two, he shot the ball well. Game one, he didn't. But both games he played really well. And he's a huge part of what we've done. He exemplifies the play harder than our opponent mindset. And he was great tonight. I'm happy for him.
Give it back to Tanisha for a few.
Hey Frank, it's Bill. When you have an underdog that is able to score an early win like they did the other night, there's always the thought that do they taste blood, or are you leaving the door open for them, or are they getting some confidence with that?
Bill, you cut out.
All right, Frank, you got me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. How important was it for you to try to respond and take something out of whatever momentum or spirit they had gained with the game one victory?
Yeah, well, this team was in the conference finals last year. Okay, so they have the ability to be one of the best teams in the NBA. We don't view it as an underdog matchup. They're a heavyweight with the way they play, and with a player like Dame Lillard. So obviously this was an important game for us. We have tremendous respect for them, and we're going to have to battle the way we did tonight every game in the series.
Brian Kamenetsky?
Thanks. Frank, when you get into a series like this, how much of what you do is, adjusting strategies, changing lineups versus just trying to execute what you want to do and do it better from game to game as opposed to making changes? What's that balance?
It's both. And, lineups are one of many, many adjustments you make throughout the game. Using different guys is one thing you do, but there's probably 10 different things on both sides of the ball that we did differently in Game 2 as opposed to Game 1, that helped us take a positive step in the series.
Michael Duarte?
Coach, I know you made emphasis in this game to start the game better than you did in Game 1. Obviously, hitting open shots and three-pointers helps that, but it was night and day today. So how do you attribute to that tonight, and how do you make sure it doesn't happen like it did in Game 1 the rest of the series?
Yeah, well, we returned to form a little bit offensively. We played good offensive basketball in Game 1, didn't make shots. The law of averages, those things come around. They came around some tonight. I still think, we could have shot the ball even better. But our defense in the first quarter was far better in this game than it was in Game 1. A lot of breakdowns to start the game the other night. Much better. We held this team first and third quarter under 20 points. That's extremely difficult to do. So like I said, our effort and focus on end of the ball is at a very high level, and that's appropriate and necessary against this opponent.
Last question, Jim Alexander.
Yeah, Frank, the fact that you were able to get LeBron and AD off their feet in the fourth quarter, how much of an asset is that, considering the schedule of this series and the fact that the amount of recovery time you have between games?
Yeah, being able to take advantage of some rest definitely is going to help those guys, and hopefully pays off in Game 3.